Okay, hi. My name is Malico. I'm only doing the name drop because it's probably gonna be heard eventually in one of these videos, so it doesn't really matter too much. This is Shoginga IRL. It's kind of just a sub channel of Shoginga, my main channel. And just to give some backstory, this is not an IT channel. I'm gonna try to keep this as short and precise as I can. I'm not using a script. I'm just winging it, but I don't want you sitting here for like an hour. So, long story short, right? So I made this channel back in like my last semester of college, right? And I made it for the sake of kind of just sharing the IT journey. I'm not like, didn't want to be a YouTuber. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not even much of a, and it was just more just to give my personal thoughts on things. Because if you're in IT and computer science, be sure to same job market. I'm sure you know the market's atrocious right now. But for IT in general, it was always just like, people are like, oh, just get the A+ certification and you're good to go. That has changed. That has changed a lot. Nowadays, you're like, oh, now you gotta get the Net Plus, Security Plus, CNNA, CCNA, and then it's just like, okay. And if you get a degree, now they're like, oh, before they're like, oh, you wasted your money for the degree. You get a certification, and now it's just like, oh, if you get a degree, you gotta get an internship. If you get no internship, no job. And I got my degree. I got my free degree. I did no certifications. I did no internship, and I got a job. So, and this is like 2023, and I mean, it took me a while to get my bachelor's. Don't get me wrong, because I changed my majors, like halfway through, but not one for calculus. But that's besides the point. That being said, I made this channel to like kind of just help people like me in a way, to let them know, hey, it's still possible. You can still do this. And then I didn't touch this channel for like 2 years. Literally almost 2 years. Like literally like a month from now, or maybe just a few weeks, it would be 2 years. But that's besides the point. The point is that the reason this channel is active now is because, I got a job. I got a lot of free time now, whatever, I work from home, and I work right here. All right. So, and I got a lot of PTO, and now we can do stuff, now we can, nothing's really holding us back. No classes, so we've been a little adventurous. But the thing is that, like, what happened is that I went on a 2-week road trip last year, right? And what happened is that, we're through all these museums, DC, Smithsonian's, and that wasn't even the main purpose of the trip. We're going like straight up the East Coast to Ohio, all the way to Cedar Point, all these theme parks. All right, so, but anyway, the thing is that it got to the point where we're just running low on time. We spent more time in DC than we planned to, and we did not get time to do everything. It's like almost impossible. You're gonna need like a week or maybe even 2 to do that. And it got to the point where, like, I'm taking all these photos, but I'm running out of time, so I'm like recording all these videos on my phone. And one, it was a nightmare to sort through like 900 photos, and second, it was a pain in the butt to walk around the museum with your phone up like this the whole time. So what I do to do that, I was looking for like an action camera, so that I could just slap on my chest. I didn't want one to stay on my head because I think it just looks tacky. Maybe if you're doing sports, fine, but if you're in like a general public, I don't want to be that guy. Nor do I want to be holding, the selfie stick the whole time. So what happened is that I was looking for an action camera at Queso. Didn't really work out too well. I mean, I didn't buy one, but I looked at the videos. The sound quality was what killed it. So I said, screw it. Let me get a GoPro, get a media mod. And I got one on eBay. GoPro Hero 10 works amazing. Obviously GoPros overheat. There's a workaway around that if you want to use the cable instead. But now I just record these videos of when we're doing these trips. And I was uploading them to my main channel. And it got to the point where it was just kind of getting cluttered. There were unlisted videos, you know what I mean? Because I kind of like to keep the online persona and the real life stuff separate, So it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I should probably put these somewhere else. So I was going to make a new channel, and I realized I had this one. So I'm using this one instead. And the reason for that is because, like, it's just easier to upload on here. These videos, I'm not really editing too much. It's like, unless it's just a lot of like dead silence in between. It's literally just like you got like 4-hour long videos. I'm not gonna put them on Google Drive. They're too big. I can't really. There's no good place to put them. You know what I mean? YouTube makes it easier. So that's why I'm doing the channel. And I'm making it public on here. I'm making it public on here for one specific reason. It might help someone. So there's a lot of video nonsense that, you know, no one's really gonna care about. But for example, I'll go on a camping trip. Literally a week from now that I'm making this video, and the state I'm in getting these, like, when I was on that road trip, we did do camping, right? We were able to reserve like the night of, you know, because it was just cheaper than hotels, because hotels are crazy up north. And basically, it got to the point where down here, it's like a pain in the butt to find a spot because people are reserving months in advance. So I found a place, and, you know, that fit our requirements, you know what I mean? And they had no map. And there was like only one video on YouTube that was outdated as I want to be. And there was, well, I want to say it was super outdated, but it was like pre-COVID, so you have no idea what happens during that time. And I had one review of the place of like this angry old lady from like 2 months ago, and I'm like, in the past like 3 years, I'm like, you know, we're taking our chance on this one, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But, you know, when I record and I put it up there and someone wants to look up the place, the video's there, you know, and they can see what it was like, and it might work out great for them. You know what I mean? It might help them out. It's just a little courtesy. I don't really care what you're doing, whoever ends up watching this, but, you know, it helps out, you know, it's convenient. I am going to keep a sharper eye on it, because, you know, I gotta keep people's courtesy, you know what I mean? They're people's courtesy. Some people don't want to be recorded, stuff like that. Some things need to be more private, so videos that I have now are gonna be kind of edited down, you know what I mean? Or, you know, to a degree. Like, for example, there's a video game museum, right? There's a video game museum that has opened, and I helped set it up, you know, with a friend. You know, me and a friend, we were helping set it up for a while, and it was like a month before they opened. So naturally, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we kind of don't want. We don't want that getting out there. But it's fine when it's like private, but then when it's public, that's another story. So I've been editing that video down, so it's definitely gonna be going from like an hour to like probably like half. You know, just gonna cut some things out. The downside is like those videos are probably gonna be a little bit lower quality because I don't have the original video files. I'm probably just gonna rip them off of YouTube if I can find a good way to do that and just upload them again. But that's generally it. There might be some cool moments too, like, you know, I was in a museum in Washington, and not DC, just straight Washington, Seattle, Washington, and I ran into the carpetbagger. I don't know if you've ever seen his channel before, but he reviews like a lot of like museums. He visits a lot of museums, a lot of weird stuff that I find cool and I want to go to sometime, you know? So these things happen when you're traveling, I guess, you know? So that being said, I'm gonna cut this right here. That's really all I really need to say. That gives you a general gist of what this channel is. This is not an IT channel. Maybe it could be. I don't know. If for whatever reason someone wants my opinion that badly, maybe I'll consider making a video on that. But that's it. If you find something that actually interests you, that's great. If it helps you out, that's wonderful. I wish you all the best, whoever you are, and take care.